Good evening, everybody. Good evening. We're going to run a very short program. Thank you all very much for coming. I know everyone has things to do before Yontif. If everyone could just stop for a couple of minutes and focus here, it will be very much appreciated. So first of all, Paisachim B'Chayda Sanya, I really have to give a huge Yasher Koyach and thank you to our hosts, Fame Auto, Avi, Marco, Frankie. Thank you all to take a business that this morning was, cars coming, going. This place was on fire this morning. Not literally, take it easy. But it was busy. And to go ahead and to host this in their shop, it's not just the money donated, it's the time, the effort to make this like this and to host this and bring everyone out here together. Wow. That's all I should say. I can also tell you that from personal experience, they're very good at what they do. Also a big thank you to the whole Fame team, all of the employees, all the people that make Fame so special for helping again arrange and clean and make this place look the way it is. We also have a debt of gratitude to Fame. Fame has restored already one of our command centers. And they're in the middle of restoring our second command center. They use their business to help. They use their business for chesed. Everyone here should emulate what they do. It's a tremendous siman bracha. A big yasher koyach to our corporate sponsors. As you can see over my shoulder, we have too many to sit here and name. But what's unique and what's really special to see is that most of these corporate sponsors are all young and up-and-coming businessmen, blue-collar, regular, day-to-day guys who all understand the value of giving tzedakah and helping out, yisaimim, almanas, and supporting people in their own community. To see that this is a young demographic, and when we're able to see that, it really is a tremendous chizuk to the people running organizations, particularly this one, that how many people put a value on it. I also wanted to thank Joe. Where are you, Joe Abuba? You're here somewhere here. Joe, our Sephardic liaison from misaskim, for raising such a wonderful son and for always being there to help the organization. Before I hand over the mic, I want to tell you a quick story that just happened. If you could focus here for a second. We had a call to the office, actually an email that came in from an alman who reached out to say that his daughter would love to go to sleepaway camp. Unfortunately, he cannot afford it. And he told us that his daughter took on all sorts of mitzvahs to get that they should find a way to do it. Kriya Shema, Mita, and Mamapil, and all sorts of other things that she should be able to get to camp. And he reached out to us. His heart was broken. He didn't know what to do. We reached out to the local division in the neighborhood that he lives. And we asked him if he's familiar with the family, and he said, sure. We helped him out all the time, the local misaskim division there. And he said, of course we'll help them. What's the question? So they reached out to this gentleman, and the gentleman said, no, I have it covered. We figured it out, which didn't make any sense. So, of course, we reached back out to him, and he says, yeah, this local division reached out, but I told him that it's all figured out. Don't worry, thank you anyways. Something didn't smell right, and the dedicated misaskim, Yedid staff, reached out to the camp directly to find out what's going on, and the camp said, of course, they still owe a lot of money, and the kid can't come unless it's all paid. What came out was that this gentleman has taken so much money from our local chapter in different forms of assistance that he was simply embarrassed to ask for more help. So we devised, our staff thought out of the box, and we set up that the camp called him up and said that, Mr. So-and-so, you won a scholarship. We had a raffle for a scholarship and your daughter won the raffle, and your daughter can go to camp. You want to see pure simcha, you want to see pure joy, take a young Yusaima. Can you imagine that? What you do here tonight, adopting a Yassim and contributing and being part, allows us to do that. Not everyone here is in a position to do those types of things, but everyone here is in a position to help in some way, shape, form, or another. Open your hearts, open your minds, and please help us out to the best of your ability. Avi, are you here? We have a special guest with us tonight before you. Someone who's very helpful to misaskim in many, many ways. He uses his position to assist us. Inspector Pinkasov, are you here? Inspector Pinkasov, can you say a couple of words in honor of this beautiful occasion? When I say that this is a man who is beloved, ask any of the cops outside or inside. This is a cop's cop, and someone who's there for every community, someone who's there for no matter what, no matter when. And we'd like to ask him to say just a couple of words.
I'm not good evening. I'm sorry.
He's also considered the official Chabad Shliach to the NYPD.
Thank you. I'm not going to tell you what misaskim do, we all know, but I wrote out a speech and I wanted to share a few things with you. George Washington was just George at one point. He did not know he was George Washington. Our power is not just the power to survive, but the power to create, the power to build, and the power to impact others for the better. Inside each of us is the power to step up when others shrink back and to bring light to our world, even in dark and difficult times. God created us in His image. He created us with ability to do magnificent and extraordinary things. We must remember, especially when things get hard for us, God has already given us the strength to be victorious. We just need to know to have it. And that's what misaskim do. They help people in a situation when people are the most vulnerable. So please help them to help us.
Inspector, thank you so much, and thank you for everything you do for the community and for your service to New York. It is so much appreciated. And for being such a mensch. Avi, you want to... okay. Without further ado, I didn't mind if you spoke when I was speaking. It's okay. But we have here a very special guest speaker, Reb Mutty Zeiger, many of you know, who really did not have time to come tonight, but he cleared his schedule and carved out a few minutes. I would very much appreciate, the food is not going to go anywhere, the drinks are not going to go anywhere, and the guy sitting next to you better not go anywhere. We'd like to ask Reb Zeiger to say a few words that covered.
My dear friends, on a Tel Aviv street walks Reb Mutty Shapiro, minding his own business on a Friday afternoon. You're not listening, you're going to miss out a good story. And Reb Mutty Shapiro sees as a man walks over to the kiosk. In the kiosk sits a man saying Tehillim. Customer walks over and he says, "Can I buy a pack of cigarettes?" The man in the kiosk looks at his watch and he says to the man, "Oops, it's Chatzois on Erev Shabbos. I can't sell you anything. My store is closed. I'm sorry." The guy says, "Please, אני צריך סיגריה. Hello, סיגריה, עכשיו." He says, "No, it's after Chatzos. You're not getting anything." He closes the store and Reb Mutty Shapiro goes over to him and he says, "Shalom Aleichem, what's your deal? What did you just do? Why'd you shut the store? You have a customer." He says, "I want you to know, I was a Yid, I lived in Europe. I was a simple man. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave me siyata d'shmaya. I'm living here now and I'm not giving up on what really means to me." He says, "Tell me about yourself. What have you ever done? What have you accomplished?" Rabbi, I listened to a story. This Yid looks at this Reb Mutty Shapiro. He says, "I'll tell you one good thing I've done. When I was younger, I made a couple of dollars. I took my Meiser money and I put it into an account. And what my job was, what I wanted to do is take care of your Simon. And I took the fund, I put away a few dollars, and when I had the opportunity, I would send boys to yeshiva. He says, in fact, there were 2 boys that I sent to Slobodka. I have no clue who they are, where they are, what they're up to. One of them, I remember his name. His name was Aaron Sislever, something like that. Have you ever heard of him? What's he up to? Reb Mordechai Shapiro jumps up. He says, Reb Aaron Sislever, that's my Rebbe. That's Reb Aaron Kotler. He's the Gadol Adar. He is the biggest in Torah in America. He's the one you sent to yeshiva. He says, wow, I didn't know. Whatever, okay. I'm so happy. He says, who was the other one? He says, I don't know. Years later, Reb Mordechai Shapiro living in Florida, Reb Yaakov Kamenetsky used to come for the winters. He would come there, would spend time, and Reb Mordechai Shapiro said this story. And he said, the man didn't remember the other person's name. Says Reb Yaakov Kamenetsky, I was that other boy. Rabbi Sai putting away money from Meiser to send the Yosim to yeshiva. Where would these 2 people be? Where would there be the Torah of Mishnah Serbar and Reb Yaakov Kamenetsky, Torah Vidas, BMG? Where would they be today without that person's few dollars? Rabbi Sai, I want to share with you a word that I promise you, if you listen, it'll change your life forever. And all you people that are talking, you could still listen. I know you have the power. Rabbi Sai, Vayar Elokei Yisrael v'tachas raglov kimase livnes asapir. Aaron, Moshe and Aaron went up and they saw the Rebbeinu Shalom had a sapphire stone underneath his feet. Says Rashi, why did he have a sapphire stone? Rashi explains to us to remember the pain, the shibud of Klal Yisrael in Mitzrayim. Frekt Rav Belsky Zechet Tzadik Livracha. What? First of all, if you want to remember the pain of Klal Yisrael, put mud, put bricks underneath your feet. Sapphire? Big deal. You don't look like you're in pain with a sapphire stone underneath your feet. And Rav Belsky asks a second question. He says, why was it still there? Klal Yisrael was out of Mitzrayim. Says Rav Belsky, Rabbi Sai, listen closely. Of course, it started off as a brick. It was mud and bricks. That was what Klal Yisrael was. But when Klal Yisrael goes and they work things through, and they care about one another, and they help one another out, they take mud and they turn it into sapphire. The sapphire wasn't there before. It was mud that became a perfect stone. Says the Rebbeinu Shalom, I'm not getting rid of this stone. You know why? Because this stone is the pride and joy of my children. Rabbi Sai, we know that 4/5 of Klal Yisrael died out in Makas Choshech. Who took care of their children? The pasuk says they went out. The Medrash says chamsha chamsha. Every single person went out with 5 children. That's not true. They gave birth to 6 at a time. Says the Medrash, every family carried 4 more families of children with them. And that is how they went out of Mitzrayim. That's Klal Yisrael. Every person sitting here right now, there are Yisayimim that you have the ability to take hold of. You might not ever meet them. You might not know their names, where they go to yeshiva. But if you grab hold of them, make them yours, they will carry you through your entire life. You'll never know what you turned them into. You'll never know what happened to them. But you have real estate wherever you go. Rabbi Sai, when I got the phone call from our CEO, I said to myself, if I could, I don't have the money to give for that yet. But if I could give over one message, Rabbi Sai, be smart, grab a Yasim. It costs $1,800 a year for a Yasim. It's $150 a month. That's less than your kaf's bill. That's less than one supper in a fancy restaurant. $150. There isn't a single person here, even you, that wouldn't be smart enough to do that. $1,800 and you own this chosim of a Yasim. When a Yasim cries out to the Rebbeinu Shalom, Hashem hears his pain double, which means when he's happy, Hashem hears his happiness double. Rabbi Sai, Grab the opportunity. Grab hold of a yasim, and you will see bracha your entire life. Naches from your kinderlach, gesund, and all things that you need. Now, everyone, turn your attention to the video. Yashikayach.